Executive Presence Hotline. What's your emergency?
I have an interview tomorrow for my dream job, and I'm freaking out, so I need some help.
Congratulations on getting the interview. You mentioned it was your dream job. What is it that has you concerned?
Well, like I said, it's my dream job. The thing is, the position is quite a promotion for me, and I'm not confident I'll be able to project the leadership presence I'll need to get hired. I imagine the competition for the interview is stiff.
I see. Let me ask, how did you get the interview?
Well, it was just luck, I guess. I randomly saw the job posting and applied for it, and 7 interviews later, here I am in the final round. They said it is up to me and 2 other well qualified individuals.
It sounds like you didn't have an inside track here and you made it through a lot of the interviews. So it seems like someone at the company thinks you're a good candidate. Now, what can we do to help you nail that final interview?
That's exactly why I called. At the company I'm currently at, I've been told by my boss and several of my boss's peers that I need to show more leadership skills to get to the next level. They told me I need to work on my executive presence.
That sounds like advice you would give to someone who is moving to a more senior level like you. How long ago did you get this advice, and what have you done to try to improve?
Here's the thing. This was a few years back, and I've tried everything, but nothing seems to work. Actually, that's not exactly right. I've asked a lot of people and taken a lot of courses, and each time I improve something, like my public speaking, dressing better, even my emotional intelligence, I can see the improvement. But the thing is, every time I try to get promoted, I'm told something else is missing. I just don't know what they want from me, and I'm afraid I'll be judged the same way during this final interview with the CEO and miss my chance here. These opportunities don't come along every day, you know.
You seem serious about making the most of this next opportunity. I'm guessing you've done your research and prepared quite a bit as well.
Oh, yeah, I've studied the company, even the people I've met with. So far, that has gone well. The problem is, I've heard the CEO is very demanding and a tough interviewer. I just don't know how to come across as the executive they are looking for when I haven't been in that role before and I've already been struggling with it in my current role.
Just one moment. If I may, let me ask you something.
Sure, fire away.
Is anyone born a CEO?
Excuse me?
Let me restate the question. What was every CEO before the first time they became a CEO?
Um, Not a CEO?
Exactly. So it's the same for you, for me, for everyone. Sure, some people get the same job as the one they are doing, but a lot of people get a job they haven't done before. Imagine the alternative. We'd all be entry level forever. Who would run the company?
I guess you're right. I never thought of it that way. Still, how do I convince the CEO that I'm leadership material and get the job? How do I give answers with executive presence? I really need help, and nothing I've tried before seems to work.
Okay, in the interview, there is one thing you can do that will help you stand out as a candidate with executive presence, but it's not what you think it is.
So, it has nothing to do with my communication, appearance, or gravitas?
That's right. All those aspects are helpful, but as you've experienced, improving them doesn't necessarily give you executive presence. It gives you better communication, appearance, and gravitas, but that's not the same thing. If I gave you 3 ingredients for a delicious omelet, it doesn't necessarily mean you'd be able to make one, right?
Yeah, I think I'm beginning to see. It's not about the individual components, it's about how they all come together for a particular result that is greater than the sum of the whole, right?
Exactly. The one thing I want you to concentrate on is making a single powerful shift. You are going to an interview And so you will obviously be asked a lot of questions. And you're going to want to put on your best performance, right?
Right. Who wouldn't?
Starting today, you won't. The shift I want you to make is to stop thinking of the interview as a performance where you are trying to impress the CEO, and instead think of it as a negotiation. They are trying to learn more about you, and at the same time, you are trying to learn more about them.
This is interesting. I don't get it totally, but I did recently take a course on negotiation. So, are you saying you want me to start negotiating my salary and terms before I'm offered the job? That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
You're absolutely right. You're not going to do that. In your course, what did they teach you is the most important thing to have more of for a successful negotiation? More important than leverage or money or being charming?
Let's see. Information? The more you know about the other side's wants and needs, the better you can negotiate with them on various levels.
Exactly. So, anytime you're asked a question, anytime the CEO says something you aren't quite sure you understand, anytime something sticks out to you, I want you to ask a question. And I want you to really listen to the answer and use that to inform whatever you say next. This is very important. Never, I mean never, answer a question or start talking if you don't fully understand what is being asked or what is being discussed. Never guess.
Won't that annoy the CEO?
Perhaps. I can't predict that. What I can predict is that if you are not sure about what is being asked and you go ahead anyway and give the answer you think they want to hear, you're just gambling with your interview. Leaders want to hire leaders who can lead. And in order to lead, you need to understand what is going on before you act or speak. You need to make informed decisions. There's no such thing as a guarantee of success, but you will have a better chance to get it right if you make an informed decision. And if you get it wrong, you'll have a better explanation than if you were just guessing.
I like this. It also puts me on a more equal footing with the CEO, more like a peer than a robot butler.
Yes. And the best part is, if you do this, your executive presence problem will take care of itself during the interview. Now, there are other things you can consider to help with your executive presence once you land the job. But for now, in the interview context, let's focus on this one aspect. You can call us back anytime in the future to help with your executive presence needs. That's what the Executive Presence Hotline is here for.
Great. You can count on it.
Okay, before we end the call, let's recap. What will you do to have a great interview and ooze tons of executive presence while doing it?
Thanks. Let me make sure I have this right. I will reframe the interview from being a performance where I'm trying to please the audience and instead think of it as a negotiation where I'm trying to find out as much information as I can to help my negotiating. I'll use questions to do this, and before proceeding, ensure that I understand what is being asked of me or what has just been said. Anytime I'm not sure, I'll ask questions until I have a better understanding before proceeding. By doing this, I'll be operating more like a peer and less like a mindless subordinate, and I'll have more executive presence.
I think we are done here. Go get them.
Thanks so much. I'll be calling again in the future, that's for sure.
We're counting on it. Remember, it's not what you say, do, or wear, it's how you make people feel that generates executive presence. Nothing else matters.